Good evening, everyone, and hello Eric. I've seen you've already commented in the live chat section. Hello and welcome. Sorry for the long wait. So tonight we've got something different. We have gone back to the What If series, episode 9, and we are looking at to see if the 2019 All-Star race was today. Hello Joaquin and Lucas. I don't even know if All-Star Race is going to win. So, last year in Charlotte, at Charlotte Speedway in 2019, there was a race, the All-Star NASCAR race. And that in front of you is how they all qualified for the race. 19 drivers. Hello Brian. Good evening to you, sir. I hope you're well. And as you see, that is how they lined up for the race. Ignore me down the bottom. That's just the way this game sets itself up. I am not in the race, I can assure you. But as you can see, Clint Bower at the front, and funnily enough, down the back in 18th place is Carl Larson, who qualified in 18th and actually won this race last season. Unknowing to him, under a year later, he has been sacked from his team. And banned from NASCAR. That is another story for another day. But more for him for being silly and making silly mistakes. But we're still going to let him race tonight because I want to use the full lineup and see if he can win it again. So without further ado, let's go trackside.
Drivers, start your engines!
So we are on a half a pace lap tonight. Just thought it'd be a little bit quicker. No need to do a full pace lap. It's not a league. There's no points involved. Just an exhibition race tonight for you guys, just to see what would happen if this was re-raced. I suppose that is the words to use. As you can see, this is the Menx 2019 mod with the 2020 cars. We're using the Cup Series cars, not the monster cars from last season. We're using the new cars, and as the boys all come round, we will have a green flag any minute at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And we are off. We have a green 84 laps. The official 84 laps from last season begins. Can Carl Larson come from the back to win this race like he did last season? There was an official 84 laps last season, but it went over to 87, I believe, due to overtime, obviously, due to a yellow flag. Let's hope we don't have any of that tonight. There will be no overtime here, I can assure you. Things will go to the 80th lap, and they will finish on the 84th lap, sorry. As we have the number 14 car in the lead. You don't want to see the pace car. We don't want to see Carl Larson either. We want to see the number 4 car of Kevin Harvick, who is leading this race at the moment with Truex, Clint Bower and Carl Busch all in the mix. Even Ryan Newman and Jimmy Johnson showing their hands at the front of this race. 3 laps already done. Very, very fast track here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, very, very famous. It has held 29 All-Star races. There's been 30 All-Star races in history. There's been 29 here and 1 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, which was won by Bill Elliott. And it wasn't a very famous race, and it was it never happened again. And it's always come back here since, as Truex Jr. takes the lead on lap 4. Truex Jr. doing a very, very good job so far. Let's go to the back then. So we have Brad Keselowski fighting it out with Kyle Larson in the 42 Credit 1 car. It looks like he's got a scratch up the side of his car as well. No yellow has come out though. That must have been something off screen that we didn't see. And there is Mr. Kurt Busch up in 17th. There's Bubba Wallace, or Darrell Wallace, whatever you may call him. Alex Bowman in down in 16th place. There is Almirola, Ryan Blaney. There's Austin Dillon. There is Byron Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Jimmy Johnson fighting it out for 7th place. Very, very good indeed. There's Clint Bower, Ryan Newman next to him. There's Joey Logano in 4th. Obviously Kevin Harvick in 3rd. Kyle Busch 2nd. Kyle Busch has never won the All-Star race. Considering he's won a lot of championships, he's never won the All-Star race. Jimmy Johnson, on the other hand, has won it 4 times, which is incredible. Very incredible. And also, Toyota have never won this. Toyota have never won the All-Star race. Chevrolet have won it 17 times. Which is absolutely amazing from Chevrolet. So could Toyota go on and win their first All-Star, shall we call it, pretend race tonight? Could they go on and win this? As Truex and Kyle Busch both have Toyotas, as we know. Not much of a gap between them two. Not much going on at the back. But you can see Kyle Larson and the number 2 car, Brad Keselowski, still fighting out. Brad Keselowski got a lovely scratch down the side of his car. Not sure why that is. We'll go with this view. You can't really see it until you come around. As he comes around now, you may see it. Just there you go. You can see the wheel. So there is a dent there. Something has happened, a collision somewhere, but it wasn't enough for the flag to be brought out. Kurt Busch and Bubba Wallace very far apart. And so we have a free team here. We have Bowman, Dillon, and Almirola, and Dillon backing off there for some strange reason. But if you go to the front here, we've got a bit of a race going on here. Kyle Busch and Truex may be out front. But you've got a lovely little race in the middle of the field here. Ryan Newman there, Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, to name a few, all scrapping for any bit of space they can get as they fly around the turn 3 there. And as you can see, we've got Joey Logano chasing down. That is Kevin Harvick. I do forget. I'm not up to date with the cars. I must admit, it's been so long since we saw a live NASCAR race, I've got to say. I'm feeling a bit lost. 1 o'clock in the morning UK time. Don't know what that time will be in America. Cody H Gaming is doing a simulated Richmond race for the NASCAR 2020 Championship. So I may stay up to watch that. I may not. We were chatting maybe about me live streaming it and commentating as well, but that's not going to happen because I just don't think I'll be able to stay up. I'll probably fall asleep. So we've got Truex and Kyle Busch fighting it out for first place on lap 13. We've not got many viewers here tonight, Mr. Me and Brian at the moment. Brian is watching the race from the comfort of his home. It's got a snow where he is, which is incredible on lockdown. Snow in lockdown, not good at all. Will Kyle Busch eventually get hold of Truex? Says we go back to these guys. As you can see, this pack here, there's a lot of racing going on, but none of them seem to be making any way close to the front guys. Especially, it looks like we're having a first set of pits. As Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman, Austin Dillon, even Kurt Busch, Keselowski, I think that was Larson as well in the distance, all coming in to the pits already. Wow, on lap 15. Obviously only fueled up for 15 laps, all tired up. And it looks like Truex and Busch will now come in. Incredible scenes. There's 15 laps and already in. Is there something we don't know about? Let's take a look. I don't see any flashing yellows. Nope, everything's good. No issues anywhere. 5-hour difference between here and the America and the UK, which is a big difference. 1 o'clock in the morning. In the UK, will obviously be 9 o'clock in America, in the US. So who now takes the lead? Because Martin Truex was leading this race, but now things will change, of course. And that is Austin Dillon, Newman. There is Jimmy Johnson. So Jimmy Johnson will lead this race, I'm sure, as he comes flying round, looking to get into the lead for this racing, looking to win his 5th All-Star race, which would be very, very good. Has he taken the lead? It's not updated, obviously, because he's got to get back round onto that lap, because he's now behind, of course. Now he's back on the lead lap. Will it make any difference to the front row? Kyle Busch is out, so I doubt it very, very much. And Truex is out as well. Will he keep the lead once he comes back over the start-finish line? I'm sure he will. Perfectly done there. Perfectly done by Truex. Well ahead of Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson. Literally 2 seconds in front of Busch. 3 seconds in front of Jimmy. What a pit stop from Truex. It looks like we're going to have a Toyota in this race. We're on lap 17. A long way to go. He's got a back marker in front of him. Brad Keselowski. Will Keselowski do him any favours? I doubt it. As he comes close in, Keselowski goes out wide, leaving room for him to undertake him. Very, very well done. Very good sportsmanship from Keselowski there. So it looks like Austin Dillon at the back of this race now. Obviously, Brad Keselowski is the back marker. There's Bubba Wallace, Almirola, Kurt Busch, Alex Bowman, and a lot of others in there. Eric Jones, who come last in this race last year officially. Alex Bowman there. There is Chase Elliott in that nice green and white car. I do like that car. Love the livery on that. He's in 9th position in the top 10. There's Denny Hamlin in 7th place. 7th place. Denny Hamlin could potentially win this. Doubt it though. Again, he is a long way behind. There's Ryan Newman down. Mr. Number 6 car is in 6th place. Very convenient. And here we are back to the front. Marcus Jimmy Johnson being overtaken by Joey Logano there. Joey Logano seems to have the faster of the 2 cars. The Ford and the Chevrolet fighting it out. And there's obviously Kyle Busch overtaking the back marker Brad Keselowski. Martin Truex Jr. has already done that. Good note as well that Ford have actually won this 10 times, this competition, the All-Star race. And Dodge have won it twice and Pontiac once. But as we know, Pontiac and Dodge are not in the NASCAR anymore. Will they make a comeback though? That is a good question. I'd love to see Dodge come back. And Brian, what are your thoughts on the Kyle Larson issue at the moment? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think he should have been suspended and sacked? Do you think it was an accident? Do you think it was a bit of a mix-up between him and his friends? You know, what's your opinion? So it looks like Joey is really catching up with Kyle. But Truex is on a mission. He's now 2 seconds ahead of Kyle. Joey Logano could potentially make a move here. Will he, won't he? That is the question. Don't think he's going to. Lap 25. We're not going to have another load of pits already, are we? Honestly, have not been watching it, so don't have an opinion. Fair enough. Fair dues. You're not missing much because it's not been on. But the news has been about Kyle Larson saying an N-word on iRacing. He didn't know he was actually on air. His microphone was on. He said the N-word, and well, that's his career over, I believe, from what I've heard. But you don't know. Who knows? I'm not going to be funny. It is a bad word to say, but there is a lot of worse people on this planet, and a lot worse things have happened. So, and these people that have done a lot worse have made comebacks. So, you can never say never for him. He may go to another motorsport. He may even come to Formula 1. That'd be a shock. So here goes Joey. He's going down low. Joey goes low. Is he going to have enough? Lap 27. Will it be Joey's? Oh, Kyle Busch is not going to let that second place up easy. He is really fighting it. But that Ford is just too quick by the looks of things. I don't know though. Seems that Kyle has the advantage on that turn there up high. Joey slowed down on the inside. Again, they're neck and neck. But now has Joey got the advantage? Looks like he has. Kyle Busch is now behind him. He will now catch up with his slipstream. We've got a lovely little fight on our hands here for second place. It's a shame this isn't first. They're fighting over second, and they've sort of forgotten about first places. Kyle goes a bit too low there. Thought he may even go inside the white line for a second. Jimmy Johnson in fourth place. Brad Keselowski behind Kyle is actually a back marker. So this is the man in the lead. Martin Truex Jr. is leading this race. He's led practically most of the race. We're on lap 30. Not long to go now of this all-star replay, just to see if we can re-race it from last season and get the similar result, which I doubt we're going to get, because where is he? Let's have a look. Kyle Larson's there, and he's in 16th place going into the pits again. Unfortunately, I don't know how many pit stops they're having tonight, but there's Martin Truex, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, all coming into the pits again, and I can assure you there is no yellow flag on lap 30. So looks like we're going to have maybe a 4 pit stop strategy here, maybe. Not too sure. Very, very odd. We're on lap 30. This is their second pit stop. As the leader goes in, Kyle Busch goes by. There's Kurt Busch. There is Kyle Larson, who's now out of the pits. Will the number 19 car get out on time? Will Kyle Busch get out before him? Doesn't look like it. It looks like that 19 car has done it. Very, very well done as they come out around from the pit entrance to restart this race. There's Kurt Busch. There's Kyle Larson. That is, I can't see who that is. I think that's Eric Jones. And here come the leaders. There you go. You've got there's Austin Dillon, Truex, Logano, Kyle Busch coming out. And there is Jimmy Johnson. So will Truex now go into the lead? Hey, the guy. How are you, mate? You alright? So So let's have a look as they go round this track. Currently it says the number 10 is in the lead. Not too sure if that's correct. We'll stay with Martin Truex just to see what happens when he goes back over that start finish line. But I believe he still is in the lead comfortably. Let's have a look, because he's really up close behind Austin Dillon, really pulling himself along on that slipstream. And it looks like, yes, he is back in the lead, using Austin Dillon's slipstream to make himself go faster and save himself some fuel. Lovely driving there. There's Joey Logano in second, Jimmy Johnson in third. Brad Keselowski is on a back lap, so you can ignore him. Not much has happened, the guy. Very, very good race, very smooth, very clean, no incidents. We are trying to recreate last year's All-Star race, but I don't think Kyle Larson's going to win this one this year. There he is there. He is in 15th. He's going to have to do a lot to get to the front of this grid. There is Almirola in 14th. There is Clint Bower in 13th place. Ryan Blaney in 12th. Kurt Busch in 11th, fighting out of Ryan Blaney there. Only 39 cars showing up. Is that in the Nations Cup? There should be 40 cars. Are you sure you've not got one of your cars picked as yourself, maybe? There's Kurt Busch. Let's go along. We don't want the pace car. There is William Byron. Denny Hamlin now in 11th place. 8th we got Bowman. Very good from Bowman there. He is one of my favourite NASCAR drivers, actually. I think he is the future of NASCAR. Chase Elliott in 7th. There's Ryan Newman, number 6 car, still in 6th place. Here we have Kevin Harvick in 5th. And Kyle Busch really falling back now behind Brad Keselowski. Could cause trouble here. Oh, I thought he was going to hit Keselowski. Then he is so close behind him. He's probably smell his aftershave. He is so close. Jimmy Johnson is going to push, obviously push Kyle Busch out of the way. Oh, and it nearly happened then again. Brad Keselowski, just get out of the way. You're on a back lap. Forget about racing. Uncheck your car, but make sure you haven't got one of their cars picked. So when you go into player info, choose a car that's not related to the Nations Cup, and choose 40 cars. But there should be 40 cars in the list anyway. There should be 40 nations. I definitely didn't miss one. 100% sure I didn't miss one. I think there was like 47 I sent over, because I sent over the ones that aren't in it this season. Kyle Busch now gets in front of Jimmy Johnson. I really thought there was going to be a crash there. Joey Logano. There is the leader, Truex Jr., who's way out in front. 168 in front of Logano. We're on lap 38. And we've got these guys here fighting it out for third place. Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick, and Brad Keselowski there just sort of making up the numbers, pretending to be involved in this race when really he's so far behind. He's a lap behind. He's got no chance now. It's game over for him. But you can't help that. So we still have greens. We've not had any cautions yet. Touch wood. It stays that way. Just going to have a sip of my drink. Do bear with me. So Kyle Busch in third place. There's Joey in second. Now, in fairness to Joey, in his defence, he is actually catching up if you look at the time. But he is using Austin Dillon's slipstream very well. I thought Austin Dillon was going to come across him then and take that front out, but he hasn't. Joey Logano now overtakes him, and he's made it 1.09 behind Martin Truex. So Martin Truex is now going to be looking in his mirror, thinking, I can see a yellow and red car getting a lot closer, and that's starting to worry him. I bet lap 41 we may have more pit stops shortly. Not too sure what they're doing. They've already had 2 pit stops. Maybe they'll have a third one. as Austin Dillon comes back at Joey Logano, and Joey Logano loses pace, but obviously he had that pace because he had the slipstream. Now he hasn't got the slipstream, he's losing time, so he really needs to catch up with these other back markers, as Martin Truex already overtaking other back markers. This could be a Martin Truex win, which would be a complete shocker, but obviously great at the same time. Kyle Busch in third. And there's Kevin Harvick, who's coming over the line in fourth. I thought he was going to take out the front of Jimmy Johnson. Then Jimmy Johnson goes into fourth place, but he will overtake that Ford on the inside, I'm sure. Going back to the leaders, Joey is in second. And there is Martin Truex in the 19 car coming up behind the most famous guy in NASCAR at the moment, Mr. Larson. Not in anyone's good books at the present time, unfortunately, for the wrong reasons. So Martin Truex leading. Joey Logano has now got past that other back marker, and I think that was Eric Jones, who come last in this race in real life. So maybe history is repeating itself. Where is Mr. Jones? He's in 17th, so that's better than what he did last year. As Martin Truex starts lap 45. 45, only 39 laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It looks like we're having more pit stops on lap 45. This is the third pit stop of the race. Martin Truex goes in. We'll take a little distance camera from this to see who comes out first, because we will need to keep an eye on Joey and Kyle Busch, of course. If they get quick pit stops, they could get in front of Mr. Junior here. Jimmy has already been in. Ryan's already been in, and Ryan nearly hit Truex there. So there goes Kyle Busch. Joey Logano qualified in 10th, so he's way back. So he's already in his pit stop. Yeah, I'll have a look on Facebook. I'll chat to you afterwards. Not a problem. Not a problem. So here we go. Truex has got out before Kyle and Joey Logano. That makes a big, big difference. He will now go back into the lead. He'll retain the lead. That is a better thing to say, I suppose. And there comes Kyle Larson. Joey Logano's out. Kyle Busch is out. They're all out. We're on lap 47 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. What I'll do, Brian, if it makes life easier, I'll continue this stream afterwards. And I'll show you how my Nations Cup is set up. Okay, so just wait on if you can for the end of this race. We'll go to the results screen, and then I'll take you straight to the Nations Cup part. It doesn't really matter, does it really? I don't think anyone really watches these races. So just wait on at the end if you can, or come back near the end, and I'll show you how mine's set up, so then you can sort of copy what I've done. So inside Truex's car there, very, very nice and smooth, not making any mistakes today. That Bass Pro Shops car is doing very, very well. Joey Logano in second, Jimmy Johnson in third, Kyle Busch in fourth. Let's go back to see where these guys are. There they are, coming around that turn there. That'll be turn 2, going into turn 3 here, as Jimmy Johnson moves out of the way for Kyle Busch, probably knowing that that car is probably a little bit quicker. But they're coming down to the straight. Jimmy catches up and moves ahead of him. But now they're coming to traffic. That's going to change things. As Jimmy goes high, Kyle goes low. They've both got traffic in front of them. Where are they going to go? Who's going to take the initiative? And I think Kyle Busch may have the initiative here. He's gone low and everyone else has gone high. He could use this to get in front of Jimmy Johnson. And I thought Jimmy was going to crash into Brad Keselowski then, who's on a back lap, as is Austin Dillon. Kyle Busch fighting to keep that place away from Jimmy. Jimmy's not going to give that place up easy though. Not at all. Kyle Busch now moving away. And then we have Joey Logano in second place. Now overtaking Kyle Larson, who is on a back lap, down in 1 lap behind, down in 16th place there. And obviously we have Mr. Truex Jr. at the front of this pack. And there's the back markers. There's Almirola, Kurt Busch. Having a bad all-star race. Denny Hamlin there, he's in 10th. There is William Byron in 9th place. And we have Ryan Newman, who's in 8th now. He was in 6th for a long time, where he qualified actually. But he's now gone down to 6th now. I would say that's probably to do with the pit stops. We've had 4 pit stops so far. We are on lap 53. I'm going to say there may be more pit stops, you know, guys. There may be more pit stops. There is Chase Elliott down in 6th place. Now, he's got 6th place on this grid. And then you've got Kevin Harvick, who's in 5th. Now, this is where it gets complicated. We've got back markers here. Eric Jones and Brad Keselowski, 19th and 19th and 18th. Good point, or good fact to know. Eric Jones came last in this race last season. Looks like it's going to happen again. Austin Dillon, another back marker. Now we get back to the front of the grid, where it gets unconfusing, because you can see Jimmy Johnson in 4th. Won the All-Star Championship 4 times, by the way. And then we have Kyle Busch in 3rd, who's never won an all-star race, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen tonight either. He's so far behind Truex, 7 seconds, nearly 8 seconds in fact. And there's Joey Logano in 2nd, 3 seconds behind Martin Truex Jr. And here he is leading this race perfectly indeed. Not made any mistakes so far. No cautions as of yet, which is absolutely fantastic. Considering it's Charlotte Motor Speedway, it's such a fast track, I expected a lot more cautions than we've had. Amazing to think that Toyota have never won an all-star race, and Chevrolet have won it 17 times. You know, you can't really, you know, that's going to take a long time to catch up with Chevrolet. But Toyota currently at the front of this all-star race. Jimmy Johnson's won it 4 times, and as I've already said, we've had 30 years of all-star racing up until 2019, and 29 of them races have been at Charlotte. And once, I think it was 1988, I believe they did it at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it was Bill Elliott who won, funnily enough, but it was slated, apparently it was not a good move to put it there, so they decided to put it back to Charlotte, and that's where it's been ever since, and they've not changed it, and I think a lot of people are glad about that. It's a lovely little track, and this track here is beautifully rendered and built. Not much has happened, Bowler. Not much has happened, my old mate. To be honest, it's been a very, very nice, clean race. Martin Truex is at the front. Not much is going on. Joey Logano's chasing him down, but he's 2 seconds behind him. We've got another round of pit stops here. Joey Logano going in this time round. He's not following in the leader, Martin Truex. So we're going to keep an eye on him as we go back round, because we're on lap 6. There's 24 to go. We may this may be the last pit stop. This will be the 4th pit stop these boys have had. So they're on a 4-stop strategy. And I believe last season's All-Star Cup was a 4-pit strategy. So this is what these guys are doing. Again, Truex so far ahead. He could probably have a little picnic in the pit lane and still go out and get in the lead. It's not a revamped track. No, this is a Smithston track. Yeah, it's actually made for the All-Star race. This track was actually built. Oh, and Truex hits Eric Jones in the pits. Ooh, what's that going to do to Truex Jr.? Will he still go back out in front? Wow, no need for that at all, was there? Eric Jones will not be pleased. No, this is not a revamped track. This is a Smithston track. Built specifically, for the All-Star race. And when you go into the file, there's actually MIPs to add to get the All-Star logos. If you probably can't see it now, but on the start-finish line, there's actually an All-Star logo, which is pretty cool. And there's a lot of them dotted around. You just have to look for them. So this was the 2013 All-Star track. Obviously we're replicating the 2019 race. So now we're going to keep an eye on Truex to see if he actually goes back into the lead. So obviously he's going to have to go round one lap. We've got number 10 Almirola leading the race at the moment. But when we come back round, I'm sure it will go back to Truex and Joey Logano, because they've all come out how they went in. To be fair, even Bubba Wallace is in between, or was in between him and Joey. So here we go. Let's look at that table up there. So it's not adjusted. It has adjusted, and Truex is still in the lead here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're going towards lap 64, which will give us 20 laps left of this race. Truex Jr. 0.85 seconds ahead of Mr. Logano in that 22 car, one of my favourite cars on the track. Love that bright yellow. As you know, I love yellow. I use it in a lot of my thumbnails. But Logano is chasing him down now. Look, 0.65. He's knocked off 20 milliseconds there. Is he now going to make take a shot at that first place? Truex has led the whole of this race, guys. The whole of this race. Can Logano finally catch up with him? That would be very, very interesting as they come over the start-finish line. What will the time difference be? Oh, he's only knocked off 2 milliseconds. Let's go on board with Joey. So he's now knocked off another, 11 seconds off that time. So he is catching Truex. We're on lap 67. Will he have enough in that car to catch the 19 car, who has been in the lead every single lap, I believe? Well, except for the pit stops, I suppose. So out of 84 laps, I would say he's been in the lead for about 77, 78 laps. So if Logano catches him, which he looks like he is, 0.46, guys. 0.46. Wow. Mr. Logano is really pushing that car. And it's Truex not got enough to keep ahead of that Ford. Will we have another Ford win? Ford have won this competition 10 times. Toyota have never won it. We were expecting a Toyota win, but Truex has got ahead. So he's moved ahead by 10 milliseconds. That makes a big, big difference. Truex will be happy to hear that in the radio, I'm sure, from his spotter. But it looks like Logano's now catching back up with him again. But as we see from the spectator cam, there is a big difference still. There is a slight gap. You probably say, what, 3 car lengths between the two as they go back over. 51. So Joey's not taking much off that time. Let's all be honest here. We're on lap 70. We've got 14 to go. He's going to have to do a lot to bring that gap down. We've not had any cautions yet, by the way. Shockingly, this has been a lovely, lovely clean race. Not going to jinx it like I jinxed Lightning McQueen last night. But I could have just literally jinxed it. What mod do you use for the Piston Cup races? I use the BR15 mod. And you can get it all from my website, justliam.simdiff.com. If you go, it's in the description. If you go to the website, you'll find in the mod section the cars and the mod to put them in. As it looks like Joey is, he seems to catch him up one lap and lose him the next lap. Very, very odd. Very strange. It's like it doesn't have enough in that car to catch him. It's like Truex gets a bit sloppy and then realises, oh, I'm getting caught here. I need to put my foot down. But from that angle, it looks like Joey's so close. And there again, look, 57 now. Very, very odd how that is happening. But I really do believe this is Truex's race. He's going to be stamping his feet if he doesn't win this. He's been so far out for so long. Let's have a look now. 65. So Truex is definitely sprinting away now. There's Kurt Busch in front of him. There we have Clint Bower. Denny Hamlin in 12th. Almirola in 11th. He's led a few laps. There's Eric Jones down in 18th. It looks like we're having more pits here. More pit stops. This will be the 5th pit stop of the race, guys. I am absolutely shocked. And even the leaders coming in with Joey. Now we have a race on our hands, guys, because whoever gets out of this pit stop first will more than likely win this race. Now we'll go with this camera because we can sort of see more of who's coming out. Joey goes in first because he started 10th on the grid. Truex goes in next. He started 3rd or 4th, I believe. So let's see who can get out. Is Joey going to get out? Is Truex going to get out? I thought Joey was going then. I think Joey's going to get out. But will he get to the exit before Truex? Truex is out. Truex is out. Oh, this is going to be close. Oh! Joey just got taken out. Is that going to be a yellow? No, it's not a yellow. Oh my god, did you see that? Did anyone else? Joey, you got taken out, mate. Your race is over. Truex must be laughing his head off when he looked in his rearview mirror and saw. That was brilliant. That was so well timed. We saw that live. So we have a new leader, but once Truex goes round again, that will update and he will go back into the lead. Jimmy Johnson down in 10th now. Not good. Not good at all. He's won this race 4 times. What was that? Exactly, Brian. What was that? That was mental. That was absolutely crazy, but funny. Really funny. I enjoyed that. So there you go. Truex goes back into the lead. Very, very good. And I'm sure Joey went back in the pits. Not too sure. But looks like Kyle Busch is now in second. So let's go back. Kyle Busch obviously come out of the pits first. And obviously because of Joey's little, little incident, we'll call it. Let's put Kyle into second place. Truex way out in the lead. 3.26 seconds in front of Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is not going to catch him with the laps we have left. Not a chance. We have 6 laps to be official. If you really want to get to the nitty gritty, there is possibly a chance that Martin could make a mistake. I doubt it will happen. This track was built for this sort of racing, very fast, sort of chase racing. And you can see that by the way the cars are driving. They are racing each other. It's been a very, very good race. I've enjoyed every moment of this race, to be honest. And luckily we've had no caution, so it's been lovely. Lovely and smooth, and that's how we like it. We've been running for, 49 minutes. And we are very, very close to the end of this race. Truex leading, has led for literally the whole race, you could say. Joey is now catching up with Kyle. Kyle seems to have a very slow car. They can't seem to keep ahead of Joey. This is probably the 3rd time this race Joey's caught him up. So very, very shocking to see that. But then saying that it is a Toyota, I'm not a fan of them. But that's each to their own, isn't it? The Ford behind him is not going to give up easy. He's going to push and push and push. He wants that second spot. He knows, they both know they're not going to get first. They know it's way, way out of their, distance now. All these two are doing is fighting for second place. Joey now is really pushing along. Kyle Busch will go back to Truex in a minute when we get to that lap 83 maybe. Just seeing what is going to happen here. Could cause a yellow, these two, if they get too close. Looks like Joey's trying to use that slipstream to slingshot himself around, maybe give him an extra few seconds to catch up with Truex, but he's not going to catch up, we know that. Truex is now starting lap 83. It's sort of game over for the other drivers, really. So there was the white flag. You saw it. We all saw it. Martin Truex Jr. is on his way to win the Charlotte All-Star Race 2019 re-race in 2020. I doubt we'll have an All-Star Race this season in real NASCAR. So this has been nice to watch. As he comes around to collect the checkered flag, Martin Truex Jr. wins the Charlotte All-Star Race. Wow, looks like there was a bit of a crash up the front there. But no need for a yellow now. Something happened. Who knows what happened there. Very, very odd. Not too worried. Looks like it was Almirola by the looks of things. Let's have a quick check of that. We know who's won the race, so let's spin back as quickly as we can. So what happened on the last lap with these two? Both hit the checkered flag. It was Kyle Larson who slowed down. Wow. What a smack. I bet Kyle Larson felt that. Almirola saw it coming, but Kyle Larson didn't. Kyle Larson, there he is. Let's go inside and watch how that reacted. Ouch. Ouch. So his car didn't last the race technically. And obviously Almirola doesn't have much choice in hitting him. At least he slowed down. That's the good thing. Unlucky. Unlucky. So there we go. We have the end of the race. Truex Jr. wins the Charlotte All-Star race. Kyle Busch second, Logano in third. Jimmy Johnson down in fifth place, and that's why he was slowing. Yeah, his engine went. Kyle Larson not fulfilling winning again like he did in real life, but unfortunately that's how things happen. It's probably the last time we'll see him race in this game, for obvious reasons. Just I don't want to get involved in any politics. So that is race over, guys. It's a Larson moment. Now I said earlier I'm going to show Brian how I've set my Nations Cup up so he can see how it's done. So let me just skip ahead. Right, Brian. Okay, so we've got the NASCAR Cup opponent. Going to message you on Facebook real time so I can show you what's going on. Well, this is what I've got going on if it loads up. There is active 40. I've got it down as World Cup. It should be Nations Cups. Just ignore that. So there we go. We've got the Nations Cup cars from 1 all the way down to 40. Okay, so if I go to, yeah, because we haven't changed any of it, no, blah blah blah. Let's go to single race, okay, and then we'll go to the World Cup roster. I put it up to 40. It doesn't matter about any of this because we're not interested in that. Just got to move my phone because it's in the way of the continue button. Go to load data, and then we'll accelerate on the qualify. Let it load up.
Drivers.
So here's the qualifying for that race. 40 cars have qualified. Obviously, I'm the 41st car. Okay, so I don't know what is going on your end really, because there was 40 cars I sent over. There's 40 cars in the mod, so I don't know why it's working like that. But saying that, when I go into my player info, I'm as this guy. So when I start the Nations Cup, I'm actually Lightning McQueen, even though you never see me in this car or anything like that. That's who I am. But if I chose myself as a Nations Cup car, then it'd only be 39 in the qualifying. Does that make sense? And I'd be the 40th car. Okay, so if I was England, they wouldn't be in that 39 because I'd be number 40, which would be England. Does that make sense? So make sure in the player info you're someone completely different from the Nations Cup. And make sure, obviously, in Opponent Manager, you've got 40 cars active. And they're all in there. Make sure every single one is in there, of course. Finland, all of them. And that's basically it. That's how the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid. But hit me up on Facebook if you get into any trouble. I'm going to sign off now. Thanks, guys, for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow for the Formula 1 World Championship, where we're in Holland, I believe, in Zandvoort. So that should be an interesting one. Take care, guys. Have a lovely evening or lovely afternoon wherever you are, and don't forget to stay very, very safe. Good night.